guys, welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be one that was requested on my Instagram, which I really appreciate. I love getting content ideas from you guys. If you are not subscribed to me, if you're not following me on Instagram, I'm not great with social media handles. I'll leave my Instagram handle down below. Is it a handle on Instagram? I'll leave my Instagram down below. But one of you requested that I do a mid-year best of beauty, which I thought was such a great and fun idea. So basically I'm going to be talking to you guys all about my favorite / most used products of 2020 thus far. Many of them I tried to keep to products that I've tried for the first time for this year, but there were a couple of categories where I just really didn't have a new staple product that I had tried this year and fallen in love with. And I also tried to keep each category to 2 products maximum, so this isn't the longest video of life. So if you guys are interested in seeing some of my favorite products thus far, some of my loves of 2020, stay tuned for us. If you haven't already subscribed to my channel, I hope you'll consider subscribing before you leave today. I do post a minimum of 4 times a week, so if that's something that interests you, then don't forget to subscribe before moving on. And other than that, let's just get into some of my favorite products of 2020. Okay, you guys, I did also post a 20 favorites of 2020 video, which I'll leave linked in the cards in case you're interested in checking that out. But today we are going to go category by category, and I'm going to give you 2 of my favorites that I have really loved this year. Again, many of them I have tried for the first time this year. The first product I wanted to talk to you guys about, though, that has become, oh, dare I say it, my absolute favorite within this category. If you guys are not new to my channel, then you may know I have a weird obsession with water bottles, and I feel like I have to try every water bottle, and I'm just always on the hunt for the best of the best water bottles. So when this little guy popped up on my Octoly store, I just felt like it was meant to be, because typically my Octoly store is like all beauty and skincare products, and then a water bottle popped up on it, and I was like, okay, I have to apply for this. So this is from 64 Hydro, and first of all, I really like this adorable design. It's a sunflower, and then it has these little skulls on it. And then on this side, and trust me you guys, I know this is not groundbreaking. I know other water bottle companies have done this in the past. But it has, so this is a 32-ounce bottle of water, and it has starting from 8 a.m., 9 a.m., 10 a.m. It tracks like where you should be in order to get your 64 ounces of water in. So in order to get 64 ounces of water, you'd obviously have to drink 2 of these. So it goes from 8 a.m. to 1 p.m. and then from 2 p.m. till 7 p.m. I just thought it was really, really cute. And honestly, the months, this whole year actually, I have not been doing the best at staying hydrated. Up until this point, Hydro Flask has been my favorite water bottle, but I lost one of my Hydro Flasks in my move, and then I got a smaller one, and I have not been doing a great job at keeping hydrated. But since getting this, I have been trying to drink 3 of these a day, and I have been doing such a good job. So it also has this little, just pops right off. And I thought I wouldn't like this because it doesn't have a straw, so I can't lazily sip it, as I like to say, but I don't know, it's just been working well for me. I also wanted to point out, I thought this was a cool feature. So it has this little thing that you can take out, and I don't know if this is what this is for or not, but you could put like lemon or fruit in this, and then you pop this in, and then it would be like filtered flavored juice. Water, filtered flavored water. I don't know if that's even what that's for, but I definitely wanted to mention this because I have been absolutely loving this water bottle. I will link it below if you are interested, or you can just go to the 64 Hydro website, but I had to mention this because it has been, also my skin has been the healthiest it's been because I've obviously been actually staying hydrated from water and not just my skincare products. So that's been a game changer, but I know you guys are not here for water bottle talk. We are here to talk about beauty. So let's start. We're just going to go in order that I would do my makeup, starting with primer. So you guys know I love primer in general as a category. I am a believer in primer, and the First Aid Beauty primers are some of my favorites. So I had to give this one a try this year. This is the Ultra Repair Hyaluronic Hydrating Primer. This is the only First Aid Beauty primer I had yet to try as of this year, and Are we surprised? I love this one. I think that this one's really, really nice. First Aid Beauty is a great brand if you have sensitive skin. I personally do not have sensitive skin, but it is a really good brand if you do have sensitive skin. And this primer is really nice and hydrating, which I love because I do have drier skin. However, I do feel like this also does a really nice job of offering a really nice tack to the skin, a really nice grip, so that my makeup truly does last longer, which is something that I obviously am looking for in a primer. I don't know if you'll be able to tell, but it also just gives like the slightest glow to the skin as well. If you can tell the difference between this hand and this hand, it gives the slightest glow to the skin as well, which I can really appreciate. If I'm going in with just concealer or just want to toss a primer on and not put makeup on, this is really nice because it gives a nice hydrated, glowy look to the skin without looking artificial. And then I also tried the Tula Face Filter Blurring and Moisturizing Primer for the first time this year, and I really like this primer. Now, I personally don't think it does a lot for blurring or moisturizing. However, as a gripping primer, I really, really like this. In fact, this has completely replaced the Milk Hydro Grip primer for me, and thank goodness, because that primer really started to not work great for me towards the last leg of my little mini. But this does a really, really nice job of offering a really good tack to the skin, but it doesn't take a really long time for this to set down either. With the Milk Hydro Grip primer, oftentimes I would have to sit and wait for 7 to 10 minutes before I could even cross my fingers and hope that it wouldn't disrupt the rest of my makeup application. With this, I toss this on, maybe wait like a minute like I normally would with any primer, and I'm good to go. And I have really been enjoying this. Tula as a brand, I've had some definite hits and some definite, I don't think that these products are worth it, but their primer specifically would definitely be a repurchase for me, and I'm really happy I found this one this year. All right, you guys, for foundation, I have purchased and tried a ton of foundation this year, which also I previously had my June makeup haul go up. I will not be including any of the products that I purchased in that June haul in this video. I just don't feel like I've had enough time with those products to like judge them or review them with some of these other products that I've had for longer. But I tried a lot of foundations this year, and I do have a video coming where I'm going to be ranking every single foundation that I purchased this year. But two standouts for me this year truly are the Giorgio Armani Neo Nude foundation. I am like obsessed with this. I just love what this does to my skin. It definitely offers more coverage than a tinted moisturizer, but it kind of acts like a tinted moisturizer. It's just so lightweight on the skin, and it still looks like my skin. It's a natural glow foundation, nothing too greasy, nothing too glowy, just a very beautiful, healthy look to the skin. And I picked this up on a whim because I had watched a Mel Thompson video, and she definitely sold me on this, but I'm so glad I tried this because this is going to be a new staple in my collection. This will be like a forever foundation, always needs to be in my collection, and I've been really impressed with this one. I have mine in the shade 4.5, which is a really good match for me when I have a self tan, just for reference, but so impressed with this one. And then from Ilia Beauty, I have been so impressed with their Super Serum Skin Tint. This obviously is not going to offer much for coverage, but I really enjoy that on days that I am just going to run errands or just like a summer day outside with the family. If I'm not looking for a lot of coverage, but I want to just even my skin tone out, I always reach for this. This also has niacinamide, squalane, and hyaluronic acid, so it has some really good skincare ingredients in this as well. Now, in terms of the actual ingredient list, I'm not 100% sure where those fall, but I have loved this. I have mine in the shade, I don't know what shade I got. I think I got the 4th or 5th shade. I want to say the 4th shade. Definitely really impressed with this. I would absolutely repurchase this. I have also tried the Kosas Tinted Face Oil, and I do really like that one as well, but if I was comparing the two, I prefer this one over the Kosas one. So when I finish the Kosas, I would definitely purchase this over that in the future. They do kind of the same thing, but I feel like this offers just a hair more coverage. So that's why I prefer this one. But I have been so impressed with this one from Ilia. If you are looking just for the slightest skin tint that's going to offer some skincare benefits and just look beautiful on the skin, offer this beautiful healthy glow. Definitely recommend checking this one out from Ilia. All right, for concealers, speaking of Kosas, you guys are going to see a lot of Kosas in this video, and I also have a Kosas brand review coming up as well, but I have been uber impressed with their concealer. I forget what this one is called. I forget what this one's called. I have mine in the shade 1, which actually is a really good shade match for me, especially if I'm more fair. My lid kind of broke on me. But I like this because it's like more neutral. I feel like a lot of concealer shades just always end up pulling pretty yellow toned on me, but this is like a true neutral shade, and this definitely is very brightening underneath the eyes without being like a super stark difference. I don't know, it just adds this like health underneath the eyes. I would say this is more medium coverage, not buildable to full. So if you prefer a more full coverage foundation, or not foundation, concealer, this would probably be a skip for you. But this is also really beautiful on days when, again, I don't want to go in with a foundation. Maybe I want to pair this with the Ilia skin tint and I just want to add a little bit underneath my eyes just to brighten them up. I always reach for this. I've been super impressed with this. Before this, I really enjoyed the Laura Mercier concealer for like a more medium coverage concealer, but this has definitely replaced that. They're about the same price. But I have been so impressed with this one from Kosas. And then on days that I'm looking for a little bit more coverage, I also have really been enjoying the Hourglass concealer, the Vanish concealer. I have mine in the shade Creme. Now this one does oxidize a little bit, so if you were to swatch this in stores, which I know we really can't right now, just note that it does oxidize just a hair. I don't know why I swatch concealers. I really don't know why I do it. This one, again, has a really nice neutral undertone to it. It doesn't pull too yellow, which I really appreciate. And I do think that this one, one thing you do have to be careful with this one is you need like the smallest amount to cover everything. So be careful not to go too heavy-handed with this, or it can look a little bit heavy underneath the eyes. But I like to do just like 3 dots right on like the inner corner of my eye, and then 1 dot out here. I picked this tip up from Robert Welsh. He is amazing. And then I just tap it out with my fingers, and I really like the coverage I get from this. Again, if you're looking for more full coverage, I really like the Hourglass, and if you're looking for more medium coverage, I recommend the one from Kosas. I do have 2 new powders, one loose and one pressed, that I've tried this year that I've been really impressed with. For the pressed powder, it is the Bite Beauty Change Maker. This is actually their powder foundation, but I like to use this just as a pressed powder. I have mine in the shade Light 1, and usually if I want a more filtered effect, or if I feel like I'm looking too glowy, like I'm pretty glowy right now, I could dust this all over my face, but I like to just take the actual puff that it comes with, which normally I just throw these away, and then I will just like tap it onto, oh boy, tap it onto the skin. And I just feel like it gives a really beautiful, like, filtered effect to the face. Maybe I should not have done this over what I already have on my face. But I do feel like this gives a really nice filtered effect to the face. I forget how many shades are actually in this line, but because it is a powder foundation, it's more than just like 4 shades. And I really love this powder foundation. I would say that this, I've said this before a couple of times this year, I was looking for a replacement for the Hourglass, no, the Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Flawless whatever powder. That's really, really nice. A part of me still wants to buy one more just to like compare these two. But this is $38, that is $45, and I feel like you get more product in this. So this definitely would be a replacement for that product for me, and I've really been impressed with the Bite Change Maker powder. And then for a loose powder, I really, really have fallen in love with this one from Glossier. Spoiler alert, if you're watching my project pan that this is in, do you see how much is left of this? Like, this is pretty much empty. I feel like I have 1 use left of this, which makes me really sad, but I'm definitely going to be purchasing this again very, very shortly. This is the Glossier Wowder, and this is so lightweight on the skin. It's not going to be a great powder if you're really oily and really need it to like lock in your foundation, or if you get really oily throughout the day, you probably won't like this. But if you are a dry skin gal and you don't like your powders to look heavy, highly recommend this. It doesn't even feel like powder on the face. I like this underneath the eyes. I like this all over the face. I really have enjoyed this. I purchased this off the recommendation of Julia Musicato. Shout out Julia, thank you for the great recommendation. And even though I still really like the Hourglass Vanish Veil Translucent Powder and will continue to keep that in my collection as well, I reach for this more often, just probably because this is a little less bougie and a little cheaper to replace. I don't know in terms of like grams per product, but I'm just rambling at this point. This is a really nice powder if you're looking for a lightweight, light coverage, but still really beautiful powder for the skin. Okay, you guys, bronzer was the one category that I didn't have anything like brand new to share. Now, I did just purchase like 4 or 5 new bronzers, so by the end of the year, I might have some new ones to share with you guys. But my 2 most reached for bronzers this year are actually the Milk Baked cream bronzing stick. I have really fallen in love with the Milk Cream products this year. I just think they're so user-friendly, beginner-friendly, just everyone-friendly. They're very easy to use, and I have used the heck out of this. I actually have this on my face today. I did the reverse foundation technique, and then I topped my face with a little bronzer too, but this is what's way underneath my skin, and I just really like this one. You get so much product in the full size of this, and they do offer this in a mini as well. I feel like it'll take me truly forever to go through the full size. I'm curious if I rolled this all the way down. I'm not going to roll this all the way up. I have heard that there are packaging issues with these. Yeah, like I've only used that much, and I feel like I reach for this all the time. There are I think 28 grams of product in this guy, but I've reached for this so much. If you guys are looking for a really nice bronzer, cream bronzer option, I definitely recommend checking this one out from Milk. And then I've also reached for the Hourglass bronzer in Luminous Bronze Light so much. Now, this obviously is not a matte bronzer, so if you do not like your cheeks to glow a little bit, I would probably most definitely skip this one. But I have really loved even like a more mattifying foundation look, and then glowing it up with my like complexion products. Well, I suppose a foundation is a complexion product. With my powder complexion products, so like a glowy bronzer or glowy blush. And this is just something that I've reached for so often this year, so definitely had to mention this one from Hourglass. I think they have 3 different shade options, and again, if I did not say, I have mine, or I've been using mine in the shade Luminous Bronze Light. Okay, so for the blush category, an embarrassing amount of blush has come into my life in 2019. I recently picked up quite a few blushes, but the blushes that stick out to me the most that I've tried for the first time this year, I obviously still love my Hourglass formula, still love my Buxom Seychelles. In fact, I have Buxom Seychelles on my face today, but these duos from Kosas I have been absolutely in love with. So they have a powder formula as well as a cream formula. Here are the 2 cream duos that I have. So this one right here is in the shade Velvet Melon, and obviously you get a really beautiful blush shade as well as a highlighter shade. These are super creamy, again very easy to work with. And then I recently picked up Tropic Equinox, which looks like this. Online, I thought that I was going to be able to use this as a bronzer, but this is definitely more of like a bronzy blush. In fact, I also have this on my face today, and then I topped this with the Buxom Seychelles. And then it comes again with a really beautiful highlight that I had underneath my foundation today, and then I topped it with, I think, the Mary Lou. Yes. Anyway, I have really been impressed with the Kosas cream formula, and then I also picked up one of their powder duos as well. This is in the shade Papaya, and this is beautiful. So you get your matte side, and then you have like a glowy blush topper side, and I am so impressed with both of these. Now, I will say this is a very powdery formula, so you have to be a little bit careful there. I like lightly tap my brush in and then like tap off the excess. Very powdery, but I have been super impressed with these. And these are so, I know we're not traveling this year, but these would be so easy for travel. They're duos. They're really nice packaging. You could just grab a couple, toss them in your travel bag, and you'd be good to go. So I definitely wanted to mention these from Kosas. Highlight is another category I struggled with. I think I've just been so focused on my Project Pan highlighters. I have really been enjoying the highlight section of those Kosas duos, but my most reached for highlight of this year, hands down by far, no question about it, is my Becca Rose Quartz. This is not new to my collection. Spoiler alert, can you see the pen? Yay. I reach for this so often. This is something that I'm hoping I can finish off. I'd be so proud of myself if I finish off this little mini this year. And then I also own another Rose Quartz in a face palette, and if I were to go through that, I would also just purchase the full size because I love warm toned pink highlighters. There is just something about a really beautiful warm toned pink highlight, I don't know how well you'll be able to see it swatched, that I just love. And there is no other highlight that I've reached for even close to as much as I've reached for this one this year, so it had to be the one that I mentioned. I have two face palettes to talk about. One is the Cali Contour, which I am a broken record about this face palette. This is not new to my collection. I picked this up last year. I freaking love this. You have so many great options in here. You have a contour, an under eye setting powder, or an all over face setting powder if you wanted to. You have a matte bronzer, a matte blush, a shimmery bronzer topper, as well as a highlight. So you really can't go wrong with this palette. I wanted to mention it because I continually reach for this all the time. And then I also picked up the NARS Overlust palette this year. Typically with NARS, everything is limited edition, so I don't know if this is still available, but I was super impressed with this. You have 3 really beautiful neutral matte blushes on the bottom, and then you have these really amazing kind of like jelly-like formula. They remind me of the ColourPop Super Shock shadows for these highlights on top, which I also think are just absolutely stunning, and I've been reaching for this palette quite a bit. Again, I don't know if you can still get this, but if you can, I will link it below. But I had to mention it because I have reached for this so often this year. Okay, it's always hard for me to narrow down eyeshadow, but I have 2 palettes to recommend. First, I have been loving playing with color this year, you guys, and so I had to mention this cute little itty bitty guy from Sugar Pill. This is their fun size palette. I think this is getting harder to get your hands on, but I did see on the Beautylish website that this is returning soon. So I don't know if this is limited edition or not, but I was so impressed with this. I definitely skipped this last year when I saw this release. I was like, that's not for me at all. And then I just kept hearing people talk about this, and I had started to dabble with color a little bit more, and I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna pick this up, see what it's all about. And I've had so much fun playing with this. 8-Bit and Player One are my 2 favorite shades, the blue and the purple. Love them. I also really like Twitch. I just love the palette. It's so cute. I really like littler palettes, so I had to mention this one from Sugar Pill. And then also, I have just been in love with the Natasha Denona Mini Retro. I just love the color story, and every time I reach into this, I enjoy the looks that I create. I love the selection of mattes and shimmers. This shimmer shade is so beautiful because it has this like blue flip to it, and definitely had to mention this one from Natasha Denona. Also, I've been really into the Kaja stacks this year. I'm really interested in picking up another one. Kind of want to go to Sephora today. Darn it, Jamie Page. She mentioned the Rosewater Kaja stack in a video like a couple of months ago, I swear, but I just recently watched it and I was like, ooh, kind of need that. But the 3 that I own are Chocolate Dahlia, most recently Poppy Champagne, and then also Glowing Guava. These again are just so easy to reach into. You get the 3 shades. They'd be easy for travel, and if I just need a quick look and need to run out the door, I will just grab one of these because I obviously know what I'm going to create with the 3 shades. 3 shades and done. Good to go. Been loving that. And then I've also been having so much fun dabbling with single shadows this year. So I have 2 websites that I have my shadows from currently that I have ordered from, and I have more coming from Shroud Cosmetics as well as Clarity Cosmetics, and I cannot wait for those, and I cannot wait to continue to purchase single shadows the rest of the year. I can see myself definitely purchasing more single shadows rather than palettes the rest of the year, but on this side, All these big pans are from JD Glow Cosmetics as well as Give Me Glow. They are all shimmery shades. I actually have this one on my lids today. This is in Going Bananas, and I think this one is from Give Me Glow. Yes, Going Bananas. I've just had so much fun with these shades. They are truly incredible, and you just get such a dimensional, just standout look when reaching into these. Like, this shade right here is in the shade Good God from JD Glow Cosmetics. Like, what? Or the shade Peachy Keen from JD Glow is such a cool shade. I have been wearing this one actually quite a bit. It has this like really cool flip to it. It's like peach when you look at it one way, and then like green when you look at it another way. Also Perry from Give Me Glow. I definitely want to order a lot more from both of these websites. If you guys have single shadow recommendations, leave them for me down below. I know there's some from Davina that I really want to order. Also Cleona, right? There's just so many single shadows I want. But those are just a few that I wanted to share with you today. For mascara, you guys, I have been so impressed. This is just a little mini, but this is the best mascara I have ever tried. This is from Ilia, and it is their Limitless Mascara. I don't know if you'll be able to see. The wand has like 3 different sides to it. It is such a good mascara. I know it's expensive. I know I said on my channel I don't think it's worth it to spend high-end prices on mascara, and I'm on a mascara no-buy this year because I need to get through my mascaras, but next year it is on. I am pretty much going to exclusively use this in the NARS Climax mascara because they are my favorite. By far superior to any other mascaras that I've tried. For a setting spray, you guys, not new to my collection this year, but the 2 that I always reach for, we have my Glow Recipe Watermelon Glow Ultra Fine Mist. I love this for a nice glow that's not going to give you too much of a glow. I think of the Pixie Glow Mist, and that you can just go overboard really quickly. This one has such a fine mist. I find that it's not as easy to go overboard. And then I just always love my Urban Decay all-nighter if I need to lock in my makeup for an all-nighter. Punny. I'm such a loser. Alright, you guys, then finally lips. My top balm of the year, you guys know I love my lip balms, is this one from Fresh. They released this year. This is their Petal Soft Lip Cream, and I freaking love this. They did send this to me, but I absolutely will purchase this again when I finish it. It just gives the most beautiful, soft, baby pink tint to the lips. It is so nourishing, and you can get away with this as both a lip mask as well as just a lip balm from day to day. So I've been super impressed with this. Absolutely in love. And then the Fenty Gloss Bombs remain a favorite. I've really been enjoying Diamond Milk, just like tapped onto the center of the lips. Like I will just, my fingers are so dirty. This is my only clean one. But I'll just tap it on to the center of the lips, just for an extra little bit of a pop. So I've really been enjoying Diamond Milk for that. And then Sweet Mouth is probably my favorite shade in the line. From Clarins, they sent this to me this year, but I have been loving lip oils, and I am so impressed with this formula. This is the Lip Comfort Oil. I have mine in the shade Candy, which is this pretty bright pink, but because it is a lip oil, it definitely obviously shears out. I love the applicator of this as well. It's just a really nice fat applicator that just gets all over the lips, so I really like that. There is the shade right there. This is something that when I finish this, I will repurchase for myself, and I am interested in some of the different shades as well, so I've been really impressed with that. Other lip oils, if you guys follow me on Insta, you probably know already how obsessed I am with the Kosas lip oils. I started by just purchasing the one shade Malibu. Quickly, I ran to Sephora and picked up Jaws, or I ordered Jaws online, and then shortly after I got Jaws, I ran and picked up Dip. I still want to round out my collection and buy all of them. I just love these. They are so comfortable on the lips. They look like a lip gloss, but they are not sticky, and they are so nourishing. Now, I will say the wear time isn't the longest. Like, it's not gonna wear for, you know, more than like an hour, hour and a half before you have to reapply. But I freaking love these. I wore this on 4th of July and it just gave the most beautiful like popsicle lip effect. This is again in the shade Jaws. I love these, you guys. They're expensive, but I feel like, what was my life before these? I'm really not sure. And then finally, the last product is another one from Kosas. I recently tried their lipsticks, and this is in the shade Vegas, which is exclusive to their website. I also had a mini in a different shade that I got from Sephora, but I cannot find it anywhere, which is a bummer. I love the shade Vegas. It's like my perfect nude. It's like a Your Lips But Better. It truly like is my lip shade. I'm obsessed, and it's such a nice creamy formula. I don't love a super like drying matte lipstick, liquid lipstick, anything like that. So it almost looks like a glossy lip, like it has a little bit of a sheen to it, but it doesn't transfer and it doesn't slip like a lot of satin lipsticks do. So I've been super impressed with this from Kosas. Again, I've really only tried the one shade, so I can't necessarily speak for the rest of the line, but very impressed with the shade Vegas from Kosas. And after that, that is going to wrap up my best of beauty thus far in 2020. You guys will have to leave me a comment down below. Let me know what products you have fallen in love with this year. I would love to hear from you. Other than that, thank you so much for sticking around to watch today's video and for supporting my channel as you always do, and I will catch you in my next video. Bye.